This chapter we're going to look at underwater structure. We're going to follow a recording made on a lake. We're going to identify some underwater bridges, structure, an underwater roadbed, structure again. We're going to create waypoints and tracks. We're going to edit these waypoints and tracks. Then we'll export it to Humminbird PC, export it to Google Earth. This is what the end result is going to look like in AutoChart Pro. As you can see, we're following a roadbed along underwater. You can see the road makes a turn, and you can see 4 distinct bridges that we've gone over. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to follow these and look at these bridges pretty closely to see if we can find structure and even find fish that we can come back to and fish later. The file has now been loaded into HumViewer. I'm going to click on play and follow this a little bit. There's a riprap on the dam. Stop for a second. There is the first bridge. You can see it just underneath the boat. A lot of it is in the water column. That's why we have it looking this way. And in the down image view you can see it, and you can see it in the 2D view. And you can see fish around it in the 2D view. Click play again. Continue on. Here's the next bridge. And I will move it back just a little bit so you can see it in the down image. You can see we went right over this. You can see a good down image view and a good 2D image view, and you can really see a lot of fish hovering over that bridge. We can continue on. And this is where the road makes a turn. There's the third bridge. Doesn't look like much there. Following the road still. And this is the big bridge. You can see it's probably where the creek comes through, and you can see, there's a lot of fish in the area here. Let me back it up just a little bit so you can see that. Let's do something a little different. Let's change our views, and let's just do the top left and right. So now all we see is the down image view and a side image view. Further, I'll right click on this and view just the starboard side of the down image. So now I can see a little more clearly that bridge. Now I'm going to go backwards and play it. There's the third bridge going backwards. Uh-oh. At this point, the boat is going right over the top of the roadbed, so we need to make our change on our view again. So I need to go back to both side image views so I can pick up everything. There's the second bridge. Okay, over here, let's go ahead and look at our 2D. And I can see fish over this. This is the double echo, so to speak, that you get on a very hard bottom. You can see that's really flat top on that bridge. And there's the first bridge. And I can see a few fish around this. So there we've gone through an example of going through and showing you how to follow a roadbed and identify bridges. Now what we're going to do is we're going to mark these. We're going to put waypoints on them so that we can find them on the lake without having AutoChart Pro. I'm going to click on Utilities. Create waypoint. So I'm going to click on that. Now what it's going to want me to do is find an area where I want to put the waypoint. So I'm going to put a waypoint right there, and I'm going to call this BR 1A. This is the first bridge, the first side of it. I'm going to make that go forwards, play that a little bit. I'm going to create another waypoint. I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to call that BR1B. Oops, B. Okay. Now, I'm going to go down the road a little bit here. Here's the second bridge. Utilities, waypoint, create waypoint. I'm going to put it right here at the beginning. BR2A. BR2B. Okay, I'm going to continue down the road until I hit my next waypoint that I want to create. Create waypoint, BR3A. BR3B. Now you'll notice now that since I'm already set for create waypoint, all I have to do is go to the beginning of this and click and type in BR4A, BR4B. Okay, now I've created my waypoints. Now let me do something a little different here. I want to show the waypoints. So now what I've done is I've brought up from the tools the HumViewer waypoint editing screen. So I can look through here and everything looks okay, except I've got a couple of misspellings here. So I'm going to rename this one. I'm going to make everything consistent. So I'm going to rename this BR1A. Okay, BR1B, BR2A, I'm going to rename that one. BR2A. Okay. So I've done that. Everything else looks good. Get out of this and come back into it. Show waypoints. Okay, so my waypoints are there. What do I do with them now? Well, let's export them to Humminbird PC. Now I want to export the waypoints for Humminbird PC. I'm going to click on File and Export. Now I'm going to come down and I'm going to change the file type to a GPX file. Key in the file name. Click Save. Now a dialog box is going to come up. I'm going to leave this just the way it is and click OK. Now the data has been saved successfully. Now I'm going to exit out of HumViewer and I'm going to bring up Humminbird PC. Let's go ahead and click File, Open, and this is the GPX file that we saved from HumViewer. Click on that, click Open. Okay, now I'm going to expand this and I'm going to show you the waypoints. Now we could come in here and change things if we wanted to, but this is all covered in another tutorial that we have specifically for Humminbird PC. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to click on Google Earth. Now in Google Earth you can see that it brought across the icons that we keyed in, so I can zoom in here a little bit. And you can see now this is where the first bridge starts, the first bridge ends, the second bridge starts, the second bridge ends. The third bridge was a little bitty one, if you'll remember. And we had the road turn, and then this is the fourth bridge where the major creek went through, and as you can see, it's going under the bridge of Lake Monticello. Now you can open this up and you can look at these individually. It's going to give you the characteristics of the waypoint, and you could come in here if you didn't want to show the ending points, you could click those off, the B icons, and that will just show you the starting point of all of the bridges. Next thing we want to do is deal with tracks. Okay, we're back in HumViewer. What we want to do now is lay down some tracks and show you how that works. Then take that to Humminbird PC, and then after that we'll take that to Google Earth. First thing I'm going to want to do though is I'm going to want to change the setup of this. I want to just look at the side imaging view. So I'm going to just select top right. Now, I go to Utilities, tell it that I want to create a user track, and I'm going to lay down my first waypoint. Click. Now at that time it's going to ask me to key in the name of the track. So I'm going to key in roadbed. And click OK. Now you'll notice it put a red plus sign there. So now what I do is I just scroll through my file and I will put plus marks where I want the track to go. Notice something. I can't do this over to the left side. That's just a limitation, I guess, of the software, that whatever side you start your track on, that's the side it has to be on. So I'll scroll down some more. There's another one, another one, another one. Okay, now I'm done with that, so I will click Done. And I can click out of this. Now, I've created my track. I want to show it. There it is, roadbed. Number of points I put down were 16. Now I can click Go To, and it will take me to the first point I put down, the first waypoint. Okay, now I'm going to export this. What I want to do first is I want to change the file type. Once again, I want to go back to Humminbird Files. I did that. Now I'm going to key in the name. I'm just going to call this roadbed and save it. Again, we have the dialog box. What to include in the export. I'm going to leave everything the same and press OK. The data file was created successfully. So now I click OK. Next I'm going to go to Humminbird PC, do a File, do Open, and I'm going to select the roadbed. Click Open. I'm going to expand it, and I'm going to expand the tracks. Now, roadbed is the one we just created, so I'm going to click on that. It's going to show me the points that we created, and I'm going to go to Google Earth. Now you can see the track we created in Google Earth. And that's our chapter on underwater structure. We've looked at bridges, roadbeds, we've created waypoints and tracks, we've edited the waypoints and tracks, we exported them to Humminbird PC, and exported them to Google Earth. As a side note, Lake Images has tutorials on Humminbird PC and on Google Earth, so be sure and check those out.